Om Shanti. Good times to all of you. My name is Shwetank, and I have been asked to make this short video presentation on visualization as a modality to heal ourselves as part of the arts to heal our hearts. So, visualization is a topic that's very near and dear to me. It's an art that I've used almost exclusively on a daily basis ever since I've become the part of the Brahma Kumaris some 20 years back. There is a lot of science behind visualization, and it won't be possible for me to cover it all in this short video. But in its simplest term, it reminds us of the total inseparable connection between the mind and the body. There's a concept that has become quite popular in the field of contemplative sciences, what is called as the simulation hypothesis. And there have been numerous experiments with functional MRI and PET scans of the brain, and it has been determined that the same areas of the brain light up, or the activity of those brain areas increases when we visualize or imagine something just as we are experiencing that thing live, although of course to a much lesser extent, but there is quite a bit of overlap actually. What that really means is that the brain can and actually gets fooled when we visualize something, and we then begin to start believing that's actually happening to us. The fact is that the more the simulation is realistic, a real simulation sounds like an oxymoron, but the more we can make it realistic, the more the lighting up of the brain area happens, which means that the brain or the mind, I'm using these words interchangeably, which are not, brain and mind are two different entities completely, but they kind of work in parallel. And so the brain or the mind begins to believe that that is happening to be real in a much more powerful way. So this has huge ramifications. And the first thing is that we begin to understand that most of our stress is not real, rather a simulation, an involuntary imagination or visualization of a bad outcome that usually doesn't happen, doesn't exist. But more importantly, this becomes a segue, if you will, into the more important thing that we can voluntarily mm, simulate actually a positive outcome through this art of visualization and relax ourselves or feel peaceful in our minds, and then our bodies will follow suit. So, is it making sense? I hope it is. That we involuntarily visualize bad outcomes and then we have stress. But those bad outcomes are not happening in real time. We are simply visualizing them and we have stress. But now we can use this same art of visualization to visualize a good outcome, a positive outcome, and feel peaceful, feel relaxed, and enjoy life as we should actually be enjoying. And this way, then we find that we can heal ourselves in many beautiful ways. There are many different types of visualizations that have become popular in the field of neurosciences, such as evocative, process, end result, etc. The evocative one is when you're evoking a certain strength or quality of feeling that you want to experience more of. For my presentation, I won't go into it, and rather I'll focus on the process and end result visualization, which I feel go hand in hand. And I feel these terms are self explanatory. That is, when we visualize the final outcome that we hope for ourselves, while also visualizing the very steps that will be needed to make that happen. Yeah, these two things have to happen simultaneously. On one hand, we visualize the final outcome that we want for ourselves, and at the same time, we visualize the many steps that are needed to reach there. But the most important thing I feel is to have a whole body, a whole brain experience to for this to be more of a realistic experience to make the simulation more real, if you will. And also, what we have to do is to visualize ourselves as if transported completely into the future. And that's what I do. I like to transport myself completely into the future, into the desired outcome. Or rather, another way of doing it is to bring the future into the present moment. In other words, the experience that we have already achieved the desired outcome. More like we are now actually living the new reality, if that makes sense. So now let's do a short visualization exercise. I invite you to visualize this final outcome. Final outcome. You can create your own, but for now, for this next few minutes, I invite you to visualize yourself as the perfect you. And I also invite you to make it as vivid and therefore as realistic as you can. At least the five senses: the eyes, ears, mouth, and that's tongue, the taste, the smell, the feel. All of these, when we involve them, then we start having a whole brain and therefore a whole body experience. In a way, there is memory in the mind, right? But there's also memory in the body. Yeah, we don't have time to go into that, but that memory of the body is created by having a whole body experience. So, for example, try to visualize the appearance, the feel, the weight, the color, the smell, the taste, the spoken words, the activity, etc., etc., of the perfect you. How you would walk, how would you talk, how would you interact, how would you look, how your eyes would be, how your face would be, the sparkle on your face, the beautiful smile, the twinkling of your eyes, and so on and so forth. Next, I invite you to visualize the steps you need to take in order to become that. For example, spending lots of hours meditating, or maybe simplifying your life, maybe decluttering physically and mentally, maybe letting go of the past, maybe serving others with love and kindness, so on and so forth. You create the steps you feel will take you to your desired outcome. Again, not only do you feel yourself actually experiencing the final outcome, but also try to see yourself experiencing the joy of taking these steps. See yourself experiencing the joy, for example, of meditating, the peace that you're receiving through the meditation experience. Is it valuable? See how wonderful you're feeling as you're simplifying your life, as you're decluttering your life. See how light you're feeling as you're letting go of the past, letting go of the control, the illusion of control. See how beautiful it feels. And experience the joy, actually, of serving others. See yourself going door to door, serving people, whoever is in need, with love, with kindness, with compassion, with respect. See how beautiful that feels. And now, once again, take yourself into the final outcome. You are now your perfect you. Just like you would go to some shop where garments, clothes are available, and you would try that on. Oh, this is a nice dress. And you take it to the changing room and then you try it on. Feel how does that feel? No, that feels comfortable. It feels good. Similarly, try on, if you will, your perfect you and check it out how it feels. I'm sure you'll feel great. Try to hold on to that experience for as long as you can. Another very important thing in this visualization is repetition. And so I inspire you to keep doing this simple exercise as many times a day as you can for your own healing. Visualize the final outcome and visualize the steps you're taking to reach the final outcome. All of that in real time, in here and now, in the present moment, bringing the future into the now. That's the trick. And having as whole brain, whole body experience as you can. Make it as vivid as you can. And do it many, many times every day for as long as you can to heal yourself. Thank you.